Hi friends, welcome back to Faith and Era Homestead. My name is Jaylee, and today we're going to talk about something that has been on my mind for a couple weeks now, and I've been wanting to come talk to you about it. I've been trying to compile my thoughts before filming this, and I still don't really feel like I have a great grasp on exactly what I want to say today, so we're just going to see where the Spirit takes us, and I'm going to share whatever comes out of my mouth. I have been sharing content on this channel for a few months now, since the summer, early summer, I think, about preparedness. And this was all in the face of the coming election. Well, at this point, the election is pretty much upon us. At the time of me filming this video, we're just a few days away. And I've shifted the way that I've been looking at it and and I guess what I've been doing about it. Because for the last several months, it's been prepare, put up food, purchase this, purchase that. And I have shifted out of that. I'm no longer really in that mindset anymore. I feel like I've done the preparing that I was called to do, most of which was putting up food. I did purchase like flashlights and fire starters and like that kind of stuff. I did it during Amazon Prime Day. And so that was kind of my last big push. There are a couple things I wanted to purchase that I never got around to. I don't have a hand crank grain mill. I really wanted one, and I still don't have a water filtration system. My parents own a property that has a very large running creek in the back of their property, and they are also on well water. So I think that is our solution. That is our water solution. I've been purchasing gallons of water every time I go to the grocery store, and I've got probably a couple dozen at this point. But outside of that, I never ended up doing anything else. So I just wanted to mention it because I had said several times that as soon as I did that, I'd share with you. Well, I never did. So anyway, outside of that, there were a few things I didn't quite get to, but otherwise I feel real good about the preparing that I've done over the last few months. Here's the thing. For me, that moment has passed. I am no longer in the preparedness mindset. I want to be gentle with my words here. I feel a bit that if you are finding this video, if you're seeing this video and you're hearing me talk about this and you've not done any preparing, you've not put up any food. I got a call and I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I think I was saying that if you're seeing this and you've not done any preparing, I don't necessarily think it's too late. I think it really just depends. I had been saying from the start that it's great to get a head start on it because then you're not panicking and you're not spending a bunch of money at one time. Because if I added up the sum of all of my preps, it would be a lot, but I've spread it over the course of several months. So if you're watching this and you've not done anything to prepare, start doing something. Purchasing gallons of water, purchasing jars of food. There's still produce at the farmer's market. Go to the farmer's market and put up as much food as you can. To me, food is really the piece of this that has given me the most sense of urgency. And I don't know if there's anything to that. I'm not claiming to, be prophetic or anything. I'm not saying anything like that, but that's just what I have felt in my spirit is this desire to put up food. And maybe that's just personal to my family and our circumstances, or maybe it's a bigger thing. I don't know. But I'm going to share it with you anyway. I feel as though you should be putting up food. So still do that, even if you haven't been this whole time. The other thing that I worry about with that is, and I've already been seeing it, back in when did I make that first video? Was that June, I think? My Azure orders were coming in 100%. The thing about Azure is you can add something to your cart, even if, and it may end up being sold out later, and you think you're going to get that item and you don't. That happens all the time with Azure. And for the first few months of me prepping, I was getting everything in my cart. No issues, nothing was selling out. And I've been putting in Azure orders this whole time, and my last couple have been sold out of a lot of stuff. And so you can just kind of see as it becomes more mainstream and more people start thinking about this, it's going to be harder and harder to get stuff. It happened with COVID. Everybody wanted toilet paper, so you couldn't get toilet paper. So it helps to kind of have a jump on that, and that was the purpose of me sharing that with you guys. So if you just now start prepping, then You may find that there are shortages of some things, or some things are harder to get, or you have to wait, but it doesn't hurt to still try. So there's that. That's the last thing I'm going to say about that, because I have transitioned out of that. I'm no longer prepping outside of I'm still buying gallons of water, because even if we don't need them, we'll still use them for other things. It doesn't hurt to have them every time I go to the grocery store. And there are a couple things here and there that I'm picking up, but really more just because I want them than feeling like I need them. I've transitioned into other things, and that's what I want to really share with you today. Now we're going to get into my advice pre-election as we move in, and then even post-election for that first chunk of time there. This is where my head and heart is at, and that is getting my own life in order, because I feel like we're going to enter in, maybe, again, I'm just sharing what I think. I feel like perhaps we may enter a period of chaos. We've already been in a period of chaos, but maybe even more so. Strife, discourse, whatever that might look like, depending on what happens and depending on how things shake out, it could be disorderly and chaotic. And I don't want to have to worry about my own disorder and chaos in the face of external disorder and chaos. And so what that looks like practically, I've been getting my house in order. I have been trying to clean, and I've been kind of purging stuff that we don't need. And in doing so, it's also helping me see, okay, do we have enough firewood? Do we have enough non-food items like meds and toilet paper and paper towels and dog food and cat food and chicken food? And do we have all of the things that we need to function for a period of time without worrying about anything? But it's not also just items. It's also just, when I walk into my house, do I feel a sense of peace? And I haven't for a little while. It's also been because I've been so busy, but I'm trying to transition now. Now I'm more focused on internal stuff. I'm not working as much anymore. I feel I've done my prepping, and all of the hard work was exactly what I needed, and now I'm coming internal. So I am focusing on, like I said, cleaning, but also just being present in the home, kind of shifting my care and my attention and my priorities back to the home. And this can also reflect in the things that I say, the time that I spend here, the meals that I'm putting on the table, the way that I'm presenting the house, I did a little bit of decorating and yada yada, all of this. Are these things essential for survival? Not necessarily, but I feel like I focused on that already. I did that already. And so now I'm focusing on, I don't necessarily need to just survive, but how do I thrive? How do I protect our peace in this next season that we're going to move into? And how do I make sure that my environment is as peaceful and orderly as I can, so that I don't have to worry about that, because there's going to be so many other things to worry about, perhaps. And so I've also been, in another practical way I'm doing that is, I did all this prepping that now needs to be organized, because my dining room is full of just bags of stuff. And, I've got random produce here and random produce over there, and I've got bread here and this over there. And I'm just trying to make sure that everything has a place and everything's in its place. And everything's labeled. All of my 5-gallon buckets have labels on them. I know what's in them. I know where they are. I know how full they are. So I did the prepping. Now I have to organize the preps. Same with the non-food items. I ended up I wanted to get a tote. I ended up just using a cardboard box. But I've got all my preps. The flashlights, the headlamps, all of it. I ended up getting a little mini generator. I've got all of that stuff in a cardboard box in the living room, ready to go. Everything's charged. Everything is, all of its pieces to everything are together, you know what I mean? And so I want to make sure that in the face of disorder and chaos, I'm not disordered and chaotic, and my home isn't. Does that make sense? I don't know that I'm explaining this super well, but this is where I'm at right now. The other place that I've been doing this the whole time, but I am more solely focused on it now, and I haven't talked to you guys as much about it as I feel like I probably should have, but that is our finances. Tom and I have been working really hard on making our finances less disordered and chaotic. And we've been working really hard on paying off debt. We've made great progress, especially when I was working like a lot there for a minute. We made great progress, but I was splitting that with also prepping. A lot of that money was going to purchasing, the things that I've been purchasing over the last few months. And that is now shifted where I'm like, okay, let's bring it in. Like, let's stop going external and let's start bringing it internal. And so we are being more mindful. I don't want to get too detail oriented here because finances are private, but we're bringing it in. All right. Before it was all going out and now we just want it to come in. And so we are working on that. And, I think that's the best way to sum it up. Previously, I was very externally focused and now I'm very internally focused. And I think that personally, and maybe this wouldn't be the way for everybody, but that's what I feel is appropriate in this season that we're in and will be moving into. I'm kind of like, okay, I did everything I felt called to do, and now I'm being called back. I'm being called internal. And I guess the last thing that I could say for this is to work on your relationships. I don't know that necessarily needs to happen because of the election, but I am feeling it in my life. But because I was so busy and was working so much, there were a few key people in my life that I think I neglected there for a little while. And I have grace with myself, and I know that they have grace with me too, because again, you go through seasons in life. We're all adults here, we're busy, but I have started to kind of pour into those relationships again and make sure that I think that does relate to this, because the whole point of this video is that I'm trying to decrease the internal disorder and chaos, because there's going to be enough of it externally. And if you have people in your life that you're not right with, that always lends itself to a little bit of internal turmoil and discomfort, right? And so I have been very intentional about that, and I do feel the Holy Spirit's been calling me to that. There's been some conversations had and some apologies made and yada yada. And yeah. I guess because we're all so different and we all are living a different life and a different experience, I think it's important that now that you've received this message, maybe sit down and reflect and say, what areas of my life do I feel are contributing to a disorder and a chaos internally, you as a person, or in your home, or in your relationships, and maybe try to work on that. I think if we can walk into this next season intentionally, and if we are strong, perhaps it will feel less like something that's happening to you and more just like something that's happening. Does that make sense? And lastly, I think read your Bible. Yeah. I'm glad that I'm verbally processing this with you guys. I think another key element that I'm seeing in what I'm sharing with you is a resilience and a strength in the face of something that could very easily be chaos. Let's stand against that. Let's not allow the disorder and the chaos of the world to penetrate into us and our homes. And that could look like preparedness, physically, materially, but that can also look like strength and resilience and intentionality and internal work. I think that's good advice for all the time, and not just an election season, but I'm bringing it to you because of the election season. And you guys know, you guys, if you're listening to the news, if you're listening to your favorite podcasts, YouTube channels, man, even though some of the people who are sharing the information is well-meaning and they're just trying to inform, it can get in you, can't it? It really gets in you. And I think that's going to be true post-election too. I think it could get messy and chaotic, and let's not let that inside of us. It is something externally happening, and I think we need to make that separation. And so when your home is orderly, when your finances are orderly, when your relationships are orderly, and when you yourself are strong, made strong by the Holy Spirit, by our good Lord, by reading the Word, etc., you can face it. You can face it and not let it happen to you necessarily. So read your Word, pray, ask for the Lord to reveal to you any weak spots for you personally where you may need to work out any chaos or disorder that may be present. And be strong. Be strong. Be resilient. Be adaptable. Something that has been really helping me, this is a little bit of a tangent. This is off topic a little bit. And I'll close with this. Something that's been really helping me a lot. I think it's easy, for me anyway, to get carried away with worst case scenarios and, well, what if this and what if that? And I'm in Ezekiel right now, and I've been hanging out in this whole Babylonian thing for months now, because it was Isaiah, and then it was Jeremiah, and now it's Ezekiel. And I think it was in Jeremiah that it says, and I won't be able to quote it to you exactly, I wish I could, and I'm not there yet, but basically that when you are exiled, wherever you are exiled, want good things for the place that you are, because if they prosper, you prosper. Go and build a family and plant a garden and work. Do everything be the best that you can and participate the best that you can, no matter where you are. And that could mean, something crazy like, what if the Russians came and got us and took us to Russia? Or that could mean, what if we are, ran by people that don't do a good job, and don't actually want the best for us. I'm not going to get into that, but same difference, right? Either way, just be yourself and do the best you can and just move forward in the things that you know are right and in the things that you know that you're called to do, and just do the best you can. And I think that sums this whole thing up really well. It's I think it's easy for people to fall victim to the circumstances around them. Whatever way this election goes, if the person wins that you didn't want to win, oh, well, what do I do now? I'm just going to give up, or I'm going to be mad about this or that or the other thing. And it's take action where action is needed, because I'm not saying that there will never be a time for you to do something about something. But in the meantime, just do the best you can with what you've got. And I've got a family, and I've got a home, and I've got a responsibility as the homemaker, and the woman of this home. And so I'm going to do the best I can with that. And I'm going to make sure that everything that is my responsibility, my home, my finances, my relationships, my spiritual health, is all in order. Yeah. Okay, I feel good about this. This is my first time shooting this video. I really did not know what I was going to say. That's a good message. Yeah, so do that. Do those things. But if you haven't been preparing and you are absolutely, let me ask you this. If COVID happened again tomorrow, would you be ready? And if the answer to that is no, you've got work to do. So go do the work that you need so that you can be prepared for something like that. And that first video that I did months ago, basically calling you to prepare, I had a lot of people comment on it, and half the people were like, we don't need to prepare, we have Jesus and he'll provide for us. And then the other half of the people were like, the Bible calls us to be prepared all over the place. And then there was, I guess, another camp of people who were like, I'm into preparedness, but not necessarily for doomsday. I was prepared when my husband had a back injury and was out of work for 2 years, and I fed us with the food that I had prepared previously, or I was prepared for COVID, or I was prepared for this catastrophe. This person in my life passed away and I was prepared. So it's not just for apocalyptic crazy stuff. And so I feel confident and comfortable telling everybody who's watching this video, regardless of your circumstances, to prepare in whatever way is appropriate for your life, even if it's not some crazy thing. So still do that, especially if you haven't at all so far. Get on that. But if you, either way, whether you're prepared or not prepared, I would still start working on internal preparedness as well. So that's my message to you as we move into this election, and may God be with us all. God bless you. God bless me. God bless this country. God bless the presidential candidates. God bless us. God bless the world. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you in my next video. Have faith and keep moving forward. Bye.